Yeah, baby. Gotta remember which camera. It's that one. It's the bottom one. Oh, doesn't matter. Welcome to the extravaganza. Glad you could make it. Hey, I got 5 things here. I think that's 5. 5 things that every shop must have. I would even call them essential. I'm gonna just walk off. I'm gonna walk out of frame. That's what's popular now. You don't even put yourself in the frame anymore. It's not cool. It's not in vogue, okay? I got 5 things. I got a lot more than that. This is gonna be at least a 40-part video series. Can you hear me? Hello? 40 parts, maybe more. I have no idea. Might just spend the rest of my life doing this. But 5 of these here, I just kind of picked at random because there's so many. And these are things that I reach for pretty regularly. Not every day with some of them, but when you need it, it is nice to have. So I'm calling it an essential. And I think with no further ado, what does that even mean? What does ado mean? No further waiting? Ado. I could look it up, but both of my phones are occupied. They're both preoccupied. Oh, this is just something else, I tell you what. This is just a real shame. I don't know what order to place these in. There really is no order, of course. Maybe I'll do like the more used ones. I mean, there's only 5, so I'll just do the ones I use more frequently than the other couple that I use less frequently. So if you have any kind of... No, it's not how I want to start this. It's not how it's going to go. It's got to be more, how you say, different. Combination squares, essential. However, I have a big one, a 12-inch, that I like. But what I have here is the mighty little 4-inch. This is a Starrett. I'll show you both sides for fun. That has a 64th inch graduations on one side here. That's crazy, huh? 4-inch double square. This is a double square. Square. Double. See? 2. Are you grasping this? I hope so. This little guy is always in my pocket. You know, it's big enough for doing most things, and it's great for squaring your table saw blade perfectly. I don't trust the stops on my saw, even if you set them good. You got to use something like this. As of filming this, I have this one, but I think I'm going to get the Woodpeckers 4-inch version because I have their bigger square, and I really like it. It's got some neat features. A little easier to read. This one's kind of hard to read. And I got like a bunch of glue on this, and it's had a hard life here in the shop, but I don't think I've ever dropped it. Maybe once. The heat! I can't even believe the heat is still on. It's freaking almost June. This is sick. It's a sick, sick world. So the 4-inch square. Get yourself one. Small, nimble, but very useful. It's number 1. Number 2, this particular brand is new to me recently, but I have another brand of these. This is the Bloxcision setup bars. Excuse me, I'm going through puberty. Bloxcision setup bars. Actually, I don't know that they're called setup bars. I don't know. It is a case full of, you know what? I gotta second camera right here. Let's use this one. Just adjust that there. See? You got 1/16. It's upside down. 3/30 seconds, 1/8, 5/30 seconds, 3/16, 7/30 seconds. Kidding me? 1/4 inch, 9/30 seconds, 5/16, 3/8. I don't need to read all this to you. Up through 3/4. And then you have this. This is a 1, 2, 3 block of a different kind. I haven't actually used this yet, but you know, it's 1 inch thick, 2 inches wide, and 3 inches long, however you want to consider those dimensions. And then it also has a height. This is nice. It's got a little height setting gauge there so you can set your blade. I'm assuming this would be for a table saw. You could do router bits, except for the 1 inch. I don't think you'd squeeze any big router bit through there, but you could do router bits. So that's pretty cool. Now these blocks have obviously clearly labeled, which I like, easy to read. They have little scales on them. I like this here. It shows you 1/4 inch which dimension, which direction is the dimension, because sometimes these ones are a little different than my other brand. The other brand is the Veritas, Lee Valley Veritas. Those ones are kind of like when you get the 1/2 inch and stuff, it's confusing because they're almost square. These ones are a little different, but it shows you which direction is the 3/4 actually. So that's a nice feature. I like that. So you get all those shims, 1/16 through 3/4. But what they don't give you, these little cheapies, and Veritas does. Oh, here's the Veritas one right here. Yeah, Veritas. They don't give you my favorite, the 1/32 inch shim. I don't know why. If this kit had the 1/32, I show both cameras in case some people are only watching on one camera, one angle. They disregard the other one. So I just keep it in here because I have this for my other set. See, you'll notice I don't want to get too much into this, but the Veritas, much shorter. I like the size of these block scissions. But I wish they made a 1/32. I'm bummed that they don't. This is excellent kit to have for setting blade heights, setting bit heights, spacing, just spacing things. Just the uses are endless for these things. This is a very reasonably priced kit. I believe they're like $40 on Amazon. And I have 2 as of now. I'm going to get, I think, probably 2 more. I'll have one at my table saw, one over there at my workbench, maybe one at the bandsaw, one over at the router table. It's just nice to not have to, they're so cheap. And it's always good to have at least 2 of each block. That's one thing. I want to get another 32nd inch shim because that's useful. But then if you have 2 of each block, you can obviously, I think it's pretty obvious why you would want 2. So you can space things like doors, for instance. Cabinet doors. When I'm installing a cabinet door, I set it down on the 3/32 inch shim, but one of them, not so good. 2, excellent. Holds the door right where I want it. That's that. That's number 2. We are just flying through this list. We're flying. We're flying. It's 2. We're going a little too fast. I better slow down. Intermission. Can we get an intermission? Pull the curtain. Pull the curtain. Where's the curtain? My staff here is useless. Absolutely useless. I'm so sorry. This is so unprofessional. Oh, I am so sorry. Okay, where are we going next? Where are we going next? Let's see. Okay, we'll go here. So, you got yourself some cast iron machinery, huh? You got yourself a table saw, maybe a joiner, bandsaw, router tables and whatnot. Well, to keep that surface nice and slick, keep that wood just right over the top, you gotta treat it with something. A lot of people use paste wax. I have tried paste wax. I don't like it. It's a waste of my time. I don't even... You gotta like put it on, and you gotta wait, you gotta buff it off. It's a pain. It's slow, and I actually haven't found it to be that useful, to be honest. However, this stuff is. This is Bostik Glide Coat. Table and tool surface lubricant. Extremely dangerous and flammable. So that's a plus. This stuff is so easy to use, so fast. You spray it on the surface, let it sit for, I don't know, 30 seconds. Take a rag, wipe it off. That's it. And it creates a nice slick surface. I do this almost every time I use the jointer. Like for any, if I'm if I'm going to be jointing this edge, the narrow edge, on a bunch of stuff, like I'm making cabinets or whatever, I'm doing a bunch of parts, you better believe I'm spraying it down quick. Especially for little stuff like that. That's when it's really useful because it's hard to feed those little pieces through. A big, big flat board, that's not really an issue, but, or jointing a tall piece, an edge joint on a tall piece, that's easy. But these narrow little frame pieces, this gets tricky because you get the fence that's that high, and you got the guard there in the way, so it's tricky. So the slicker the surface, the easier it moves through there, the better. And this stuff works really good. It is expensive. It's like $22, $23 a can. I buy a couple at a time. They last me, 3-4 months. So it's a consumable and it costs money, but you know what? Everything does. Everything costs money. But that makes the joint, especially the jointer I found. I use it on the table saw, use it on the bandsaw, but the jointer is the real beneficiary there, I think. They sell this at Acme for like $28 a can. I was like, that's insane. And I got it on Amazon for, I think, $22. Dries in seconds, reduces sliding friction and hang-ups. Dries in seconds. Reduces sliding friction and hang-ups. Dries in seconds. Will not stain or affect wood finish. Extreme danger. And they got a lizard there. Is that a lizard? I don't know. Gecko. Who knows? Doesn't matter. Get yourself a few cans. You won't regret it. That's 3 so far. I think we're going to go... We will go to the... Yeah, we'll go here. So everybody... Oh, let me straighten out my table, folks. I am so sorry. This is so unprofessional. I can never tell... There we go. Oh, there we go. Wait. Gotta center it. Gotta center it. Nobody likes an out-of-center table. What do you think of the lighting? That's a joke. It's just shop lights. I don't use fancy lighting. I can't afford it. And nobody really cares, honestly. Do you care about the lighting? Do you care if I'm beautifully lit? I mean, I am beautifully. Look, I'm just going off what I've been told, but I have a pretty... Like, some people are photogenic. I'm not photogenic. I'm lightgenic. I'm photonogenic. I'm photonogenic. The light hits me, doesn't matter what it is, sunlight, artificial light, the way it hits me, it always makes me look good. So there you have it. I just figured I'd get that out. That's just what just what the doctor told me. Yeah, that's what they told me. Everybody has clamps. I got a whole bunch. Look at this. I got clamps like you wouldn't believe. I got these. These aren't clamps. I got those. I got these. I got all these. I got these. I got those. I got that one. I got more. So everyone has some basic clamps. But if you get something like, what should I grab? Let me grab this. This is the perfect example. Little Bessie F-style clamp. I don't know what maybe 300 pound. Man, gotta be 300 pound clamping force, not 600, 300. I have like 80 of these, 70. They're great if you need a lot of clamps. Usually when I'm using these, I'm using like 20, 30, 40, or all of them. Great, just kind of all around little clamp when you don't need a ton of force. However, these are like what I consider, honestly, I use them and they're great. And I'm not making fun of you, but you're a little baby clamp. You're a tiny little baby clamp. But sometimes what you need is a big boy clamp. You need something with some serious force. And you need to have some of these. This is the Bessey. This is a big version here. This is the big boy. See? Little baby, daddy. Little baby, daddy. Little baby, daddy. This, what's special about this clamp, you'll notice, it's got a 7-inch throat depth. 7 inches. It is so useful because you can get in deep on things and clamp. See, you can get in there, 7 inches, obviously. These are like 3. What's also special, not really special, but 16-inch opening. 16 inches, 7-inch depth. And I will tell you, this thing will clamp down with some serious force. Big screw. I mean, just look at the difference here. Look at that screw. I'm going to use the other camera. This is actually quite heavy. Ah, stop. There we go. Just look at the difference here in the size of that screw. Look at that. Tiny, huge. You don't need to turn this much to get some serious force. And I mean it. I don't even know what the clamping force is on these. It's a lot. It's a lot, and I love it. So you need to have a couple, at least, I would say even, you gotta have like 4 of these things. I had 2, and it was just too few. I needed 2 more. You always need more. I have 6 right now. I'm ordering probably 6 more. That's a good number, 12. But these are really heavy duty, and they'll get you out of some tricky situations. So on the same, kind of in the same vein here, this one's a little different, obviously. It's just C-clamp, but it's that deep, I think this is a 12-inch. Yes, 12-inch. 12-inch deep reach C-clamp. Now these are a little less useful for typical applications because they don't have a very wide opening here, but I've used these. I tell you, you just get way in on something. It's got a good amount of clamping force. And these ones, unlike the others, these are a Harbor Freight specialty. They're like under $15 a piece. Tragically, I only have 2. I'm gonna probably go buy 6 more. At that price, you just have a bunch of them. You, trust me, once you got them hanging on the wall, you'll end up using them. This one more so, but these are about 60 a piece. I'm telling you, you get this in your hand. This thing weighs like 12 pounds. It's very heavy, it's very powerful. It's very, you know what this is? This is like empowering. That's what this is. When I hold this, I feel empowered. I really feel like I can do something. And I can do it with a lot of force. That about covers that section. The heavy duty clamps. And you know what? One thing you gotta, if you are gonna get these clamps, make sure you leave some screw sticking out there, because when they do tend to bind, and sometimes you gotta play with them a little bit to get them apart. But if you just slam them shut, sometimes they can bind. Not always. It's not gonna do it now that I need it to, but just be aware of that. Oh, wait a minute. And build yourself a pretty heavy duty shelf for them, because they are heavy. These, embarrassing. I'm so embarrassed by these clamps. Sheer volume of those little clamps cannot make up for pure raw power of those bigger ones. Okay, we are moving right along. I'm trying to make these videos as long as possible to drive away drive away all the nobodies. I made it a rule that I'm going to make my videos as long, drawn out as possible to buck the system. See, I don't make shorts. I'm not making shorts. They're stupid. If you're in it with me, you're in it for the long haul, folks. Buckle in. Block out your calendar. The pointless ramblings will continue. The pointless ramblings will commence at noon. And there's no telling when they'll stop. Okay. Well, we've made it to the final item on today's list. This one, again, is a... I showed it off. It's all right. You found out. Something that I don't know why. You know, there's those things you just don't know why you wait so long to buy something. Sometimes it's price. Other times it's just like, why didn't I just... and this is one of those things. This, just take that out of there, is a very simple item. It's a glue applicator. You put glue in the top. You pour glue in here. You pick it up. You pull this little trigger. Actually, push it forward. Push. Why am I showing you? You know what? I'm sorry. This is so unprofessional. You pick it up, like so. Push this little trigger forward. And then that releases this to go up and down. And once you put the roller down, see it pushes up. It pushes up this upper wheel, little metal wheel. So it pushes that up and then allows the glue to flow down onto the roller and you can spread it around. And then when you want to stop the glue flow, you just pull that and it stops the roller from going up, closes the, that drops down, closes off the chamber. Then you can spread what you got on there. You need a little bit more glue. Forward with the button. Boom, chicka, 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 lock it, bada boom. Comes with this little tray. Yeah, it just goes boop. Yeah, just goes right in that tray. And when you put it in the tray, if you have it open, I don't think it'll go in there. Yeah, oh no. I thought it closed it, but I don't think it does. That would be a nice feature. However, you have to remember, I looked at the Virotex version of this, which is obviously going to be far superior. It's $250. It has a roller at the top too that you can like roll the edges of boards over. $250. You got to be doing a lot of gluing to make that spend. This one, Amazon, I think it was $25. I think it was $25. I can't tell you. I used it a few times now. Fantastic. In fact, it's so cheap. I'm going to buy another one, maybe two. They make a 6-inch version as well. It's a 3-inch. Make a 6-inch. This is. I don't know why I waited. No reason. Comes with an extra roller too, and it's pretty easy to clean. The sponge and everything. It was pretty easy to clean. Very simple operation. Nothing can really go wrong with it, aside from just falling apart or breaking. And actually, this is one of those things where it's definitely, I mean, it's cheap, but it's like, it actually seems pretty well built, you know? One of those things, it's like, it's pretty thick plastic. The metal seems decent. It's pretty thick. I mean, for, it's probably like a 1/16 of an inch. Got a roller that's got a handle that comes off. I guess maybe the handle will break. That's got a thread there so you could make your own. Maybe I should make my own little project. So yeah, I think it's worth it. This saved me so much time. I was laminating That thing saved me so much time. I was laminating some boards. And it's such a slow process doing it any other way. I've tried like, what are those little rollers? The J roller or whatever, you know, you squeeze the glue on. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. It kind of does, but it doesn't. This foam roller is pretty good. I gotta say, that's a good purchase. I'll try and put links to this stuff, but you know what? I really can't be bothered. It's hard enough to just film a video and edit it. You know? I'll try, I promise. Should I show it in action? Do you need to see these things in action, or can you just take my word for it? No, I'm not going to show you. Take my word for it. I'm going to do a separate video on all this stuff. Yeah. I'm just going to go through my shop, pick every tool up, and make a video on it. Then you'll know. You'll know everything. You'll know it all. That's it. That's it. Can't do any more. I've said enough. I've showed you everything. Everything I have to offer. Yeah, I think that's going to do it. Boom. Done.